Network Entertainment. Warning, this episode may contain spoilers.
I don't know how this works in front of the camera, but ladies and gentlemen,
with
our
much
very
joy,
special guest, musical guest. No, I won't introduce them. They'll just sing and you'll know who they are.
Okay.
Apata, 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 apata.
That's not how it goes. I think you already know who we're referring to. Although that's just one person. It's not the group. It should be boom bum ba bum bum ba bum bum ba yeah yeah yeah.
Oh!
Diba? Because technically, Apate is just Rosé.
I'm talking about the first movie.
What do you mean? Oh. Huh. I'm confused.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
We're talking about the superhero movie.
How are we talking about the superhero movie, and how is Rosé connected in all of this?
Did I say Rosé? What's the title of the song?
Apat. Oh, first recording namin dito sa studio, tas ganito yung bubungad.
What? Because you're
You know when
talking
something
about
catches you by surprise and you hate it? This is that moment. This is that moment.
I told you I'm talking about
So
the other
pissed off.
movie,
But-
not the other one we're
Before
doing.
I get, overwhelmed by rage, welcome to OnlyFun. His name is Chico Garcia.
And his name is Gino.
Yo, first off, let's check out our new dates.
I know.
There is enough space for the Holy Spirit between us because we're ultra-conservative.
I accept my legs.
I know, right?
I mean,
Gusto daw niya
these-
magtawag ng male audience.
Actually,
So
this is
parang-
for the male audience. So let me show some skin.
I know we're not supposed to kink shame, but shame on you.
But yeah, I mean, because we have to pull out all the punches,
Uh-huh.
and
Well, clearly I don't know anything about pulling out because I have three kids now. Sorry.
and so
My pull-out game was really strong. Was being the operative word, and then it started to fail.
oh, you're still going to be pulling out your savings.
My savings.
Okay.
So we're supposed to be talking about the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Kaya pala
Apata,
nakakapikon.
apata.
Okay, so
Apata.
it's the biggest movie of this month.
Oh yeah.
And I love that it came in the heels of Superman.
And what's up with that? Have you been on X?
No, I don't really.
I
don't really look at my ex as often as I want
I'm not
to.
kidding. Talo pa yung Wilka versus Dust Bia.
What do you mean?
Yung the animosity.
Towards Pedro Pascal?
No, I mean like Superman versus Fantastic
Oh.
Four, and I'm like,
And it's so weird because
why
even
can't you just celebrate both?
Yeah, even the actors are like, Pedro
Yeah,
Pascal
exactly.
reposted a David Corn sweat photo
Like,
of them together.
I
Like
swear.
super fantastic. Kind of like a Barbenheimer of like
Any
a couple of years
news
ago.
about, let's say, the success of Superman, andyan yung mga
Snyder
Fantastic Four
fans.
fans. Tapos pag naman Fantastic Four news na good
It's a
news.
Superman fan.
Like,
Yo, can't we just
what
be
is
happy
going on?
that both movies are great?
Yeah.
Because that means more movies for us to
For us,
watch.
exactly.
That's it. It's as simple as you don't need to put something down to bring something up.
yes.
You know what I mean? Like unless it's like a pulley, then you need to pull something down to bring something up.
Yeah, like a
But
well.
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah, you won't get the water unless you...
Exactly.
Point.
Have we ever considered that maybe we have
Point
ADHD? Maybe.
You have... I can tell you have it. How many years have I worked with you? I can tell you have ADHD. And I am hounded by people with AD... What was I saying?
Everyone around you, including yourself, clearly.
I was like, what was I spelling again? I was like, what am I spelling?
I don't know if it's ADHD or just age in general, but
If it's ADHD or AGE.
Okay, back to Fantastic Four.
Yes.
So we were able to, if you watch the previous episode that we had, we were able to watch
The teaser.
the first
26.
6 minutes of it or something to that effect, which was really painful to
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
But off the bat, when we watched it, we already knew that we were gonna like it. Like I
Yes.
already knew. I know you did also, just
Super.
because of how the treatment was. And I'm not gonna lie, like the first time that I saw Fantastic Four being teased, and that they were gonna do it in like a version of like the 60s.
Yeah.
I wasn't so sure about how to feel about it because number one, I'm not really a huge fan. Like I wasn't born. I'm just it's just wala pang wala pang
I.
wala pa akong sinasabi. First off, I know that you weren't born in the 60s. I know you're a 70s guy. Or wait, oh no. My math is not mathing. And it just did. But anyway, I'm just not a big fan of that era. In the same way that I'm not, like, I love 80s music, but I didn't like the fashion, you know what I mean? So in the
Right,
60s,
right.
very select yung nagugustuhan ko. So there's this thing called Fallout.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. That's the 60s that I like. Which ultimately was kind of what Fantastic Four leaned towards. So it's the 60s, but with future tech in a very 60s way. You know what I mean?
Yes. Ako kasi like, honestly, like, it's not even kasi parang for me, that's more the cosmetic side
Right,
of
yeah.
the movie. I just like that I love actually how old-fashioned it looked, but it was also very old-fashioned in terms of
Values, narrative.
Yung
Yeah.
parang it's so simple. Big, giant alien want to eat Earth. Superheroes protect. You know? I mean, you know what I mean? You know what I
want
mean?
to eat super
Me
sexy
want,
alien.
Me want planet. Hindi, pero gets you like you know how like let's face it, sometimes you need to like watch so many things
Yeah.
before you watch a certain superhero movie, otherwise you'll get lost.
This one you didn't need to
Like
watch anything.
it's so easy. And
Right.
I would tell people, even if you've never watched a single MCU movie in the past,
You can still watch this and
you
enjoy
can
it.
watch this and enjoy it for just what it is.
Yeah.
The plot is so easy. It's so simple. The science involved, doesn't have anything to do with mga quantum whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
no shade, pero you don't have to be a very intelligent person to understand there's this planet-eating
Alien.
celestial
Yeah.
alien, and they're going to fight it. And how do they get rid of it? Like napakadali nung science involved.
I liked how one of the reviews I was able to catch after the movie put it na I think Marvel rediscovered how to make a great Phase 1 movie. Diba?
Yes.
Na parang
Yes.
it's
Parang
such a
intro
good
ulit.
starter, but without having to delve too much into the origins of how they became the Fantastic. Because at this point, we've had like 3 different
Yeah.
Fantastic Fours, you know what I mean?
And what I love about it is that it was very old-fashioned
Yeah.
in a way that a good chunk of it, we will talk about naman the details, but a good chunk of it is about family.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which-
you know what? In a weird way, you know that it's a Disney film because it's very
It's
very
family
Lilo and
oriented.
Stitch. Yung parang like family means
The world,
Ohana.
everything.
Ano yan? Mga ganun.
Ohana means family.
Ohana means family.
Ohana means no. Family means nobody gets
means
left behind.
walang iwanan. Oo.
You wanna? No, but
Pero gets,
you know
like-
what I found fascinating also is, again, because this came like a month after Superman.
Yeah.
It's like both comic universes, whether you're DC or Marvel, went back to its roots.
Yeah.
Na alam mo yung parang they all went back to classic comic books and how they made it feel. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved like Infinity War and Endgame
Oh, yeah,
and all
yeah,
the
yeah.
movies that came before
Yeah.
it. But it got to a point where it was complicated na.
Yeah.
Na it became an adult thing. Which is great because majority of the people who watch it are adults. You know what I mean? It's kids that grew up. But this one kind of reminds you of what it was like to read a comic book when you were a kid. Na alam mo yung parang it's just classic good versus evil, good-hearted people in the same way that Superman was also the same. Na parang he's this beacon of hope that, basically shows people what you can aspire to become.
And I remember even as early as like high school, yan na yung parang, it didn't give anything earth-shaking, this movie.
Yeah.
Yung parang pati yung mga concepts niya. Like for example, I remember high school to nung binuring up ng isang teacher namin na parang if
Quick question. I digress. When you remember high school, naka full HD ba siya o parang
parang sikat pa yung Beatles.
pixelized?
She loves you.
Naka standard def.
Yeah. Very Fantastic Four. Hindi, I remember that was the question that was posed. When I find, don't worry, this is not super
spoiler.
essential to the movie. Pero that was one of the things that were posed when I was in high school. So you know that it's very pambata pa nga.
Yeah.
Yung parang, what if you go back in time and you meet a child, Adolf Hitler,
Right.
and
yeah.
you had a gun.
Yeah.
You know that you could prevent so much bloodshed and mayhem
Just by
and murder.
essentially
Would you
unaliving a
sacrifice
baby,
an innocent child, as of now,
Yeah.
innocent child, in order to save so many people? And I
Right.
remember those were yung mga philosophical mga conundrums
Yeah.
that people would pose
Right.
in the past. And
The answer is yes,
And
right?
that's very, very very Fantastic Four. Na parang like, would you save the world and in return, sacrifice
yeah.
one innocent child?
Right.
So that's it. I love that it's very simple in that sense. Wala masyadong complicated
Yeah.
things, and
Like the plot wasn't convoluted at all.
At all.
And I think it focused just more on the characters themselves.
True.
I love how and okay, the tricky part about having a movie about a group of people is of course, balancing screen time between one or the other.
Yeah.
And that's why it's easy to not easy, but like easier to come up with movies like Captain America because it's just one guy, you know what I
Right.
mean? Or at most he has a sidekick. This one, you have 4 characters that you need to flesh out. And I love how everybody got their own kind of moment. Like one of the things that I really loved about this is how Johnny Storm, because we all know that he's like a womanizer and
Yeah.
whatever, but like you have to take into consideration that he wasn't part of Fantastic Four just because he was Sue's brother. He was also very smart in his own way.
And
na
he's-
alam mo yung parang he's a scientist also. He's one of the best. And they actually said this in the movie na parang Reed Richards was tasked with being sent to outer space, and it just so happened with the best minds that I could find, and it just so happened that the best minds I could find were also my family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
And-
ganda na tinahinil eh.
And I like how this version of Johnny Storm is the least assholey.
Yeah, that's true.
Parang he's the least
hindi siya douchey.
arrogant. Hindi siya as
No.
douchey as the other. Well, to be fair, yun naman kasing that version of Human Torch. Parang early Human Torch.
Yeah.
Like the latter Human Torch naman,
Yeah.
maayos na siya.
Yeah. And ang ganda nung bangga nila ni Ben. Like,
Yeah.
alam mo yung, that it's not hate that drives their relationship. Kasi diba they always, like in the previous Fantastic Fours, like borderline magsasapakan talaga
Yeah.
sila. Ito yung parang, like they're like siblings talaga na parang, I love you, but I'm going to manifest it in a way that like, I'm
Torment
going
you.
to annoy the crap
Yeah.
out of you. Which is exactly what they had.
It's
and of course,
true.
Ben is always, solid. He's a rock.
Tsaka galing
like,
no like nagulat ako dun sa nuance nung CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he was trying to figure out parang is Sue pregnant?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yung parang
yeah.
like and I was like I had to be reminded that this is not a human being.
Yeah.
Like this is actually special effects because I'm like
But I'm
was
sure ano
so,
na rin yan eh.
ang
Tahina
galing,
yan
ha?
of motion capture
Motion
and whatever. So
capture.
obviously like I guess whatever Ebon Moss Bacharach,
Yeah.
Ebon Moss Bacharach's facial reactions were translated into
it's
like
amazing.
ang galing.
Like, I was like, tas ang dami, meron pang, tas even yung nag-usap sila ni Reed right before they went back up to space. Yung kita mo yung like, why is there so much emotion?
Yeah. He's supposed to be a rock.
This is a CGI thing.
Yeah.
Why are the emotions emotioning?
And finally we got a Galactus.
Na hindi cloud.
Na hindi cloud. Please.
Na hindi cotton candy.
Na hindi cotton candy na purple. Na umikot-ikot.
Di ba? Hindi My Little Pony.
I'm so happy with how it turned out. But again, I implore people to stop fighting.
Yeah.
Like, stop it with the, Fantastic Four is better than Superman or Superman's. If you didn't like the other one, then fine. You know what I mean? Like, other people enjoyed it. Let people enjoy the things they want to enjoy. Maybe it's not for you, but ultimately, like, I think Tom Cruise understands this more than any other actor in Hollywood right now. A win for any movie right now is a win for the movie industry.
You know, it's crisis level.
Yeah.
Where basta major shift in the industry. And I guess I just love how it just went back to some of the most basic themes.
Yeah.
Which is like although a lot of it has to do with space and Galactus and all that.
It's family.
It's family.
Ultimately,
And like because the past couple of months have been quite difficult. I think it's naman, people who follow us know that there've been a lot of things happening. And when I watched this was right after a really rough patch. My mom passed away. And one of the things that really struck me is that theme of family. I mean, you don't really usually family is
and it's not family in the Fast and the Furious sense.
Yeah.
It's a very
yung totoong, like your
totoong
blood
family.
family.
Yeah.
You know how it's one of the first things that you latch onto as a kid. Tapos it's also one of the first things you discard.
Right.
Once you become
because you
an
have
adult,
friends na.
you start having friends, you start having relationships.
You start choosing your family.
And don't get me wrong, I am such a big fan of people who are owning their singlehood,
right?
Who are perfectly fine being single, living their life alone. And I don't agree with. We'll get to this a little bit later on. We'll get to the whole. I definitely do not agree to people having kids para may mag-aalaga sa kanila when they get older.
Yeah.
But
hindi ba ganun? Ba't ako gumawa ng tatlo?
para ubusin yung savings mo. But the final couple of months, we were a big family.
Yeah.
My gosh.
You're a big family.
We're a big family.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how I would have survived. Because we're the main caretakers of my mom. Because we live in the same house. But, thankfully, our entire clan, from the kaming magkakapatid to the nephews and nieces to the grandchildren, that everyone took turns.
Yeah.
They would visit and then stay there for a couple of hours so the others could rest naman. Yeah, I mean you know what? Regardless of the physical age, nothing ages you emotionally than dealing with mortality. Kasi talaga it's tapos yun minsan, let's face it, thankless job being relatives kasi minsan talaga sila yung una mong nakakalimutan.
Yeah.
But then when something like this happens, which very tied into, it's weird nga kasi nanonood ako ng Fantastic Four, tapos naalala ko yung My Family na parang you become very thankful that you have that network.
That you have that,
Na parang okay, naantok na ako, can you take over for a while?
Right.
Something as simple as that. And that's why I think Fantastic Four really struck a nerve.
chord for you,
Yeah, because it's usually I find that one of the corniest themes pag yung parang very, very family. Kasi nga for me, parang duh, obviously you're going to love your family. So you don't have to...
But again, I think it also comes back to... Remember you said it earlier, family is one of the first things that you latch onto as a kid. And then it's one of the first things that you discard when you get older. So I think the reason that you thought that, that's such a corny statement, was because you were in that discarding phase.
Yeah.
Alam mo yun? Tas parang
probably.
eventually, when you lost your mom, that kind of cemented the whole, that's right. This was one of the first things that I was clinging on to as a child, and it's weird, man. I don't know.
No, diba, super. And you kind of have a newfound appreciation for family. Kasi nga parang you realize, regardless of how you get along or don't get along.
Or don't
sila
get along
yung,
for majority of the time.
Right? No, pero sila talaga yung aasahan mo. I mean,
true.
you don't ask your best friends to uy, ikaw na muna magbantay kay mom.
Ikaw muna mag-ano.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even no matter how close, you're not going to ask your besties na,
and I'm
ikaw
sure,
muna
not to take away anything from best friends, I'm sure they would have.
I'm sure.
But
I'm sure.
It just feels right when it's a family member that takes care of these things for you. Diba?
Okay, since we're talking about this, because tayo, I mean, it's a no-brainer. We're going to take care of who needs taking care of.
Will we? I don't know.
You will. We will. We're not horrible people.
In front of the camera, we're not.
We're the rare. Alam mo yung sexy hot people who are actually good inside.
Wow.
Check out the legs. Okay, so here's the thing.
Wow.
What do you think of, we don't know, okay, to be fair, we're going to talk about this without knowing the full details and the full elements of the law.
Okay.
But since we're talking about it, we might as well. What do you think of that whole new proposed law that will criminalize children who don't take care of their elderly parents?
I think that's such a gray area.
Yeah, right?
That's such a gray area. First off, I am a firm believer, in being a parent myself.
Yeah. Actually true.
I'm a firm believer that no child should ever have to take care of a parent. It's not mandatory. It's much appreciated. Don't get me wrong. If you are able to raise your kids well enough that they want to do so, na sariling kusa nila, then great.
Yeah.
But you're not mandated to take care of for me, you're not mandated to take care of your parents.
And if you will,
First
it's because you want to.
Yeah, because you want to, not because you have to. Because first off, it wasn't your choice to be born.
Yeah.
Like, kasi that, again, in our society, that just cements it further na, gawa tayo ng maraming anak para marami mag-aalaga sa, which is a horrible way to go.
Actually, alam mo, that's true. I refuse to come out. No, I mean,
I mean, I think we all knew that. I mean, not that you have to. I mean, we kind of already know. It's not a big secret.
No, I meant I was a late baby. I was induced. I refused to come out. They were like, well, "How come your kid just wants to stay in the womb?"
Just kind of imitated what your life
So
would be.
siguro, like I knew, like
Yeah.
di ba usually pag in-induce na yung pregnant woman,
Yeah.
lalabas na yung baby, di ba?
Wow.
Even with the induction,
Yeah.
with the
Coker.
inducement, and the inducation.
No, even when your mom was induced.
Even with my mom was induced, I wouldn't come out.
Right.
I was
But
like- I
that
was like-
happens. That happens.
And then they had no choice. They had to forceps me. That's why I have weirdly hammerhead-shaped head.
Oh, you
They
were
had to forceps
forceps
me.
baby.
Kaya when
Okay.
when I came out, mukha akong hammerhead shark kasi may parang alam mo yung parang ganun yung ulo ko.
na-indent
Oo,
yung,
kasi they had to pull me out. I was like they had to like literally pull me out of
Right.
the puchich. No, because yeah, which just
But we're okay.
goes to show the I mean
Going back to what we
Going
were
back to
talking
that.
about, we're such a society of, again, family is so ingrained in us, which is great, and I mean it has its pros and cons. Pros being, again, like what you mentioned, whenever anything happens, you're there.
Yeah.
Cons, again, nobody should ever be forced to take care of
Hindi, tsaka
somebody.
you know what? And dami niyang,
Unless you're a parent and
Again,
you're taking care of your kids,
we
because
don't
they
know-
have no choice in this.
baka kasi merong mga ano yun in the proposal, may mga
I'm sure
provisions
meron
na,
yan,
na hindi siya like super simplified. Pero just in case, some of the initial problems, like what if hindi ka lumaki with your parents?
Yeah.
What if your parents abandoned
Exactly.
you?
Oo.
And kunyari, binato ka sa lola mo or sa
Or-
auntie mo, and then now that they're old and they need taking care of, suddenly it's like,
Badly
"Oy,
put. What
take
if,
care of us."
Again, it's also like in the same argument as abortion here.
Yeah.
Na parang, what if you were a child of rape?
Yeah.
And then your the actual mom who got raped passed away.
Yeah.
And then now the dad who is still around who raped your mother is, because biologically he's your father.
Yeah.
Does that entail na parang, you have to take care of me now? That's super wrong.
Actually, that's true.
Diba? So that's another layer. Again, that's why it's such a gray area.
Tsaka kunyari tayo, pretend we're brothers. Tapos parang,
Sist.
right?
Sist.
Tapos, let's say ako, I abandoned our parents.
Yeah.
Like completely. Yung let's say they were good parents.
Prodigal child
Let's say
ka,
they were
ganun,
really, really good parents. And I'm like, okay, I'm grown up now. I want nothing to do with you. That's so ikaw ang natira, kunyari, you're a good son.
Yeah.
You took care of our parents. I still abandoned them.
Yeah.
It's just so happened na meron akong kapatid na can you like
Can I mandate
sue
you
me?
to So,
na parang like, ba't ako lang ang, it's so tricky.
yeah, it really is. And again, yun
So
nga
tricky.
parang knowing us will find a way to abuse it.
Yeah.
Na parang, okay, may anak na ako, nagtatrabaho na sila, hindi na ako magtatrabaho at all.
Yeah.
I am so lucky to be I mean, God knows that I had disagreements with my mom growing up all the time. But I'm so lucky to have parents who never, not once, asked any of their kids to take care of them.
Same.
Any of them.
You know,
like, I am so lucky in that sense that was lifted off, that burden
That's true.
was lifted off my shoulders because it allows me to, and even till now my dad is alone and we're all like, Dad, you can always, we'll take care of you, come
Yeah.
live with us. And he's like, no, like, I don't want you guys to have to do that.
I'm fine.
And no matter how many times we insist, he's like, that's not your responsibility, which is also why I want to pass that on to my kids.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be their responsibility.
True.
They should be able to live their own lives.
Hindi kasi ako, that was one of the things that I said, when, during my mom's eulogy.
Yeah.
I was like, it's crazy. People who've had parents like ours probably would not realize how lucky we
lucky,
are.
yeah.
Kasi talagang I was like, seriously. I was like, here, in this like mortuary, up to the very last moment.
Yeah.
Si mami gumagastos nito, hindi kami.
Pinalagaan
like
niya na.
literally, it was being paid for by the deceased.
Which, by the way, is a lot.
And it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Diba for most families, it's like, saan tayo kukuha ng,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You're going to have to shoulder. So when you have parents who are like literally taking care of
Yeah.
you from beyond the grave.
Yeah. And again,
you're just so lucky.
this comes from a position of privilege.
Exactly.
Not everybody gets to have
Exactly.
this, which is why we're so thankful that,
Yeah.
like, again, on
Pure gratitude.
but again, I still don't think that it should be mandated. And especially, what if pasaway kang
Ayun nga
absentee father ka,
Yun nga eh.
you beat up your kids or whatever, abuser ka, like, ang daming
Daming pwede, no?
So
and
I
how
think
do you prove
ultimately
it?
it boils down, yeah, exactly.
How do you prove it?
That's super
Ang
difficult
hirap,
to prove.
diba?
So ultimately, it boils down to, I don't think it should be required. I don't think it should be mandatory. If it does happen, then great. You know what I mean? Like, parang kids don't owe it to parents na they have to take care of them at their old age.
Actually, one of the best things I read about it on X,
Mm-hmm.
meron nagsabi na parang, actually, when you think about it, it's not really the kid's responsibility. It's the state
Yeah,
who should take care of parents who were abandoned by their kids.
true.
So, parang meron kang
Pwede
parang...
may argue na parang,
Kasi diba they say one of the bellwethers of civilized society is how well they treat the most
seniors.
helpless
Yeah.
members of society, meaning kids, the
PWDs,
elders,
seniors.
and the handicap,
Yeah.
everything, yung
Yeah.
mga hindi kaya
Veterans
animals
or whatever,
even
animals,
animals,
yeah.
diba? So yeah, so I think naman most people who are civilized and who have hearts,
Mm-hmm.
regardless, will probably take care of their family members. Hello, even nga yung mga kunyari mga hindi parents, kahit naman yung kapatid. Let's say hindi mo talaga kasundo yung kapatid mo.
Yeah.
Pero pag nakita mo na talagang medyo life and death, alam mo yung tutulong ka naman kahit papaano. It's
But again, it's also-
hard when it's
Hard kasi when
it's
you
a
have to
legal thing.
mandate it.
Oo.
Kasi parang yun nga, there are so many, you know what I mean? And I'm sure it has happened before na kunwari, siblings or, like, if you ask me to take care of any of my siblings, of course I would. I love my brothers.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But if you were to mandate it, what if, like, I can't take care of my own
Your own family na
But
nga,
then
diba?
obviously there are certain precedents that will have to supersede whatever is mandated. So yeah, it's a very lengthy discussion, which we can probably do some other time.
Oh, sige. So, total we're into this, no? Like, about family, friends,
Mm-hmm.
everything. Baka pwede namang umutang, Gino.
Uy. sa akin. Talaga? Sa akin ka pa kumuha?
Sige na.
Di ba dink ka? Tama naman.
Oo nga.
Dual income, no kids. Oh.
Dink. Oo.
Oh, dink.
Dinig ko twink.
Well. Hindi, yun yung hilig mo.
Did we
No,
imbibe
you're not a twink guy.
truth?
You're really
portion-
not a twink guy. You're not. I know you're not. Ano ba opposite ng twink? Stop. But of course, thank you to our friends from Pod Network Entertainment for giving us this beautiful
I know. I'm loving it.
area.
And thank you for letting me highlight my legs.
Okay, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.